Okay, let's talk about something we all just expect to work: home comfort. You nudge the thermostat up or down and you expect instant relief. But behind that simple little act, there's this incredibly complex system fighting a constant, invisible battle against the world outside.
We've all had that feeling, right? That little moment of panic. You hear a weird clank from the basement, or maybe, even worse, just silence when you should hear the gentle hum of your furnace or your AC kicking on. So let's set the scene for a true home comfort disaster.
Look, this isn't just a small problem, it's a genuine emergency. When the temperature inside your house starts creeping towards the extreme temperatures outside, the simple idea of just calling a pro suddenly doesn't feel so simple at all. To really get our heads around all the forces at play here, we're going to zoom in on one specific place: Evanston, Illinois. Think of it as our case study for how a local environment can wage this relentless war on the very systems we count on to keep us comfortable. Now, this is what's so fascinating. It's not just one single thing making life hard for an HVAC system in a place like this. You've got these brutal temperature swings coming right off Lake Michigan. You've got corrosive salt in the air. You have beautiful but old homes with ductwork that was never, ever designed for modern air conditioning. Even the gorgeous tree canopy can choke off airflow. And then you throw strict city building codes on top of it all. It's basically a perfect storm of stress. And those seasonal shifts, they are absolutely relentless. In the summer, all that humidity from the lake makes the air conditioners work so much harder, putting a huge strain on their compressors. Then in the winter, you get these crazy negative wind chills that force furnaces into total overdrive, which is what exposes every single weak part. There's really no off-season for the equipment here. And this right here, this is one of those hidden problems you'd never think about. In a lot of these beautiful, historic homes, the ductwork is just too small because it was literally squeezed into walls and ceilings long before central air was even a concept. This chokes off the airflow and forces the whole system to fight against itself, leading to it running poorly and, you guessed it, failing way earlier than it should. So, when you're facing all of these intense challenges, how does a repair actually get done right? I mean, it can't just be some standard cookie-cutter approach. It has to be specifically designed to beat this gauntlet. The whole process has to be built for two things: speed and transparency. Because when your house is freezing or turning into an oven, that's all that matters. It starts with an emergency dispatch that gets someone there within hours, not days. Then they do a diagnosis right there and give you a clear, flat-rate price. No weird hourly charges racking up. And finally, they make the repair, ideally right on that first visit. And this is the real secret sauce. Beating the gauntlet requires hyper-local knowledge. The best technicians who work in an area like this, they don't just guess. They literally stock their trucks with the specific parts, the igniters, the capacitors, the motors, that they know fail most often in that specific region. That's what turns a potential multi-day nightmare into a same-day fix. Okay, so this all leads us to one of the biggest and frankly most stressful decisions a homeowner has to make. Do you keep pouring money into repairing an old system, or is it finally time to replace the whole thing? Well, there's actually a really simple guideline that can help take some of the emotion out of it. It's called the $5,000 rule. All you do is you take the age of your unit in years and you multiply it by the estimated cost of the repair. That number you get, that's your decision factor. So let's just run a quick example. Let's say you have a 12-year-old air conditioner and you get a quote for a $500 repair. You just multiply 12 times 500 and you get 6,000. Now, if that number is over 5,000, which it is here, the rule of thumb suggests that, yeah, a full replacement is probably the smarter long-term investment. So it really boils down to this fundamental trade-off, doesn't it? Repairing is cheaper right now, today, but you're still left with an old system that could easily break down again next month. Replacing it costs more upfront, for sure, but what you're buying is reliability, better energy bills, and honestly, long-term peace of mind. All right, let's talk about the thing nobody really wants to talk about: the bill. Whether you repair or replace, the cost can be a source of a lot of anxiety. So let's try to demystify the whole thing and just break down the numbers. For just a service call, hourly rates in a place like Evanston can run you anywhere from about $75 on the low end to $150 on the high end. That price reflects things like the technician's certifications, the company's insurance, all that overhead. But here's an interesting thing to remember. A more experienced and, yeah, higher rate technician might figure out the problem way faster, which could actually save you money in the end. Now, for a full replacement, the cost, as you can see, really scales up with the size of your home. A smaller, maybe 1,200 square foot house could be in that $4,000 to $7,500 range. But a much larger 4,000 square foot home, you could be looking at $10,000 to even $20,000. And that's exactly why getting the system sized correctly for your home is so critical.
The big takeaway here is that the final price you pay is about so much more than just the cost of that physical furnace or AC unit. It's also influenced by the efficiency rating of the new gear, the brand you choose, the shape your old ductwork is in, how tricky the installation is, like if they have to get into a tiny attic, and even what the local permit fees are.
So the next time you walk over to your thermostat and feel that perfect rush of cool or warm air, maybe you'll have a new appreciation for all those complex systems working tirelessly right behind your walls, fighting off humidity, battling extreme temperatures, and sometimes even fighting against the history of your own home, all just to keep you comfortable.